I am Dr. Shipra Dua, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication from Jagannath University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. I will discuss radio commentary. This is another format of radio. Radio commentary refers to a form of radio programming where a commentator or host provides their analysis, opinions, and perspectives on various topics, events, or issues. It offers a platform for individuals with expertise or experience in a particular field to share their insights and provide commentary on current affairs, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. Here are some key aspects of radio commentary. Opinion and analysis. Radio commentators express their opinions, observations, and analysis on a specific subject. They provide in depth commentary, offering their unique perspectives and insights based on their knowledge and expertise. Current affairs. Radio commentary often focuses on current events and news stories. Commentators discuss and analyze the latest developments, providing context, interpretation, and additional information to help listeners understand the significance and implications of the news. Sports commentary. Sports commentary is a prominent form of radio commentary. Commentators provide real time analysis and play by play descriptions of sports events, offering insights into the strategies, performance, and outcomes of games or matches. Political commentary. Political commentary involves discussions and analysis of political events, policies, and decisions. Commentators offer their perspectives on political development, debates, elections, and other related topics. Entertainment commentary. Commentators in the entertainment industry provide insights and analysis on films, television shows, music, and other aspects of popular culture. They may review new releases, discuss trends, and share their opinions on the entertainment industry. Talk shows and debates. Radio commentary often takes the form of sorry. Radio commentary often takes the form of talk shows or debates where commentators engage in discussions with guests or other commentators. These programs encourage lively exchange of ideas, arguments, and differing viewpoints on various topics. Listeners' interaction. Radio commentary programs often incorporate listeners' interaction, allowing audience members to call in, send messages, or participate in discussions through social media platforms. These engagement fosters dialogue and provide an opportunity for listeners to share their opinions or ask questions. Radio commentary provides a platform for critical thinking, debate, and analysis. It helps listeners develop a broader perspective on current affairs, sports, politics, and other subjects by presenting multiple viewpoints and fostering informed discussions. Commentators play a vital role in shaping public opinion, providing context and offering interpretations that can help listeners from their own perspectives on the topics being discussed. In the audio medium, voice, sound effects, and music are the critical elements which gain the listener's attention and hold it. Now we are discussing preparation for the commentary, how to prepare for commentary. So, as I said, that voice, sound effects, and music are the critical elements which gain the listener's attention and hold it. The spoken word is crucial to a radio feature or a commentary. Special attention has to be paid to what is said and the tone in which it is uttered. A radio commentator is both the eyes and ears of the listener. A commentator creates verbal pictures in the minds of receiver by simply combining the spoken word with music and sound effects in a creative fashion, while the narration itself is the result of a carefully written script. The tone in which it is derived assumes equal, if not more, importance. The contribution of the commentator is truly revealed by the fact that the final quality of voice, diction, intonation, etc. lends. Take, for instance, the funeral ceremony of the former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. The sober restraint and dignified emotion in the commentator voice brought to the listeners the significance of the events. Prior to going on the air, the radio commentator must make a deep study of a number of things. In the above case, these included in the route the funeral procession would take, and information on, say, the historical backdrop and occasions associated with Nehru, or on the another moment with the body lying in the state. The commentator would point out the numerous impatient occasions when Jawaharlal Nehru visited the Rashtrapati Bhavan, even at the time when the the history was being made between India's top political leaders and the British's viceroy, Lord Mountbatten. So, this way, a commentator can describe each and every moment that is commentary in radio. As I said, that in commentary, you become the eye and ear of the listener. But we should consider commentary is an art. Radio commentary is an art. It's not a cakewalk. First, consider the amount of hard work that must have gone into preparing an interesting and informative commentary. The road to success is an uphill task all the way. Ideally, a radio commentator would require a skillful combination of an observant eye, a ready tongue, nimble wit, imagination, tact, and a sense of humor. Commentary is an art, and its successful practice depends on attention to a special technique, descriptive power, and narrative style. This is possible only when one has the capacity to notice the finer details and also express them in simple but evocative terms. Without preliminary preparation, the commentators would find themselves in serious trouble. The best plans can be thrown out of gear, but by some unforeseen circumstance, say a new twist to the event, an intelligent and resourceful commentator will be able to place his thoughts and ideas across without much difficulty. In order to evoke a vivid word picture, one would require alert human faculties and a vast knowledge of men and matters gathered through extensive reading and intense involvement in the social, political, and cultural developments in the country. In short, a radio commentary describes an occasion or event in vivid words. The attempt is always to verify transport the distant listeners to the scene of action or attention. Naturally, the commentators has to be all ears and eyes to perform the job perfectly. Basically, when you are commentary, so you will have to explain the scene as it is, but in simple and vivid words. So now I would be discussing the steps of writing commentary. What are that steps of writing commentary? A commentator has to obtain all the information necessary about the location of the commentary broadcast, the occasion, the background information, technical terms and areas of emphasis. Accordingly, he will have to write the script or take notes. Usually, commentators visit the site of action, stadium, football or hockey ground, the scene of cultural show, the route of a funeral ceremony, the cremation or burial ground, etc. This he does to familiarize himself with intricate, even trivial details and to trace the history leading up to the occasion. Then he is ready to make a layout of the course as seen from one or more vantage points and note all the important points. Finally, before the broadcast day, he must keep a sharp lookout for any picture, sports, or amusing incidents to relate during the commentary. Sometimes technical snacks can cause problems for the unprepared commentator. As a result of interrupted transmission, the commentator may be forced to end the relay commentary at short notice. At the end of spectrum, one may have to prolong the commentary indefinitely. This actually took place once during the visit of the late US President Eisenhower to India. Since the arrival of his plane was delayed by quite a few hours, the commentator had to go on and devise his own show to see him through his trouble. These days, one can promptly add the program back to the studio in the face of any technical faults. Even that requires commentators with presence of mind to size up the situation without any panic. There is a well known saying that anyone can say anything into a microphone, but what comes out as the other end is what matters. This holds good in the cause of commentators as well. Commenting is balancing art. Neither must you unnerve the listeners and monotonous, high pitched, or excited commentary from beginning to end, nor must you slip up in what you say and thereby irk the listeners. Undoubtedly, rendering commentary is a job best left to mature people, quick on the uptake, capable of taking any new development in their stride. The audio medium thrives on word pictures created in the mind of the receiver. A program meant for broadcast, let us say a commentary, a feature, a play, etc., which ignores this peculiarity is so much a waste of breath on the air. It is on the projection of one's personality through the microphone that the effectiveness of a broadcast untimely rests. Broadcasting, therefore, is not a mechanical process. The technique of delivery is of fundamental importance, as pointed out by the late Professor Harold Lasky with reference to successful broadcasting. Winston Churchill had said during Second World War to the Americans, "Give us the tools and we will finish the job." The broadcaster's tool will be discussed in the because if we talk about commentary, so it is not that terms of tools, but it is the terms of delivering how you are presenting, how you are delivering the commentary, this content. So, as I said, that I will be discussing tools Broadcaster tools. What are the tools that are used in commentary? Tools to master the art of developing commentary and scripting narration. What are that tools? A radio commentator, narrator must have certain essential physical characteristics. In using the word physical, we imply the personality of the commentator as reflected in the cadence and vibration of speech delivery, which actually holds the key to success on the job. We shall now enumerate the various desirable attributes of the commentator and narrator. Broadcaster's voice and microphone manners. Whether one is a commentator, interviewer, newsreader, or announcer, one must take care of one's voice. To make a beginning, one needs to breathe correctly, enunciate correctly, and attend to the vocal rhythm in order to ensure a liquid stream of pure sound. How does one breathe properly? One must breathe from the diaphragm as one does when asleep. This in turn helps you to speak rhythmically, and the reserve breath helps to carry you smoothly from one sentence to another. Breathing from the diaphragm instead of the throat or through the nose also helps you to avoid extreme breathlessness, which is the microphone is quick to catch and amplify, hence, never speak on your last breath. Proper enunciation is extremely important. This helps to you overcome the slurring of speech to a great extent. One way is to properly enunciate the constant consonants while leaving the vowels to look after themselves. How does one achieve this? By opening one's mouth widely to raise the soft palate and keeping the lower jaw forward. By doing so, you give free play to a remarkable variation of sound and the English language. In particular, is rich in sound. If one does not pay due attention to this aspect, one would throw away a wealth of meaning and emphasis. Rhythm is the lifeblood of speech. Without this very important input, speech becomes lifeless and mechanical. Nothing kills a broadcast more surely than the monotony of delivery. Remember, words are the petrol. Words are the petrol of the speaker's thoughts and rhythm in the oil that lubricates that vehicle. Therefore, the broadcaster's sound not only sends messages but also ensures that the listener is persuaded by it. Again, every broadcast has to be kept alive, and this is mainly achieved by the correct emphasis, stress, and pause in the speech. All top class commentators, broadcasters pitch their voices higher than used in ordinary speech. This is because the very low notes are apt to muffle the consonants, causing a booming effect on the microphone. Even so, in an interview, the lower the pitch of the broadcaster's voice, the less is energy required. Also, there is less tendency to tighten the throat and back muscles. The low pitch is best for speech. However, it must be achieved with ease and not by suppressed sound. This definitely contributes to attractive and effective narration and commentary. Yes, that is the point that we should use our moderate pitch, not high, not low, because high pitch will be uh, high pitch will be very high and listeners will not be liking to listen, that will not be pleasant to ears. That's why it is important to have moderate pitch, but that should not be suppressed. That should look like normal speaking. Language. The broadcaster's language is indeed easy to understand because only the simplest possible terms are used. It is important to remember that the language be intelligible to the majority of the listeners. You must know that one picture phrase will do more to arouse the listener's interest than a bunch of literacy and idiomatic expressions. Usually, a listeners react quickly to the broadcaster's manner. There are a few thumb rules which a broadcaster would do well to follow. We shall enumerate these rules here. Do not patronize the listeners, at least for having taken the trouble to listen to you. The listeners ought to be treated with courtesy. The listener is a friend. Would you not treat a friend in natural and respectful manner? So address the listeners to on equal terms. Be friendly without being a listener a speaker should be familiar, should be friendly. Finally, be yourself and not what you would like the listeners to think you are. While the listener is seldom deceived, you may flounder and reveal your true color sooner rather than later. Give your listeners the best of listening by being your natural, ebullient self. As there are some people who try to make different accent when they are speaking, but gradually listeners will come to know and they will feel deceived. So be natural, be yourself. Avoid padding. The term padding refers to the filling out of a sentence, publication, etc., with superfluous matter. While preparing the script for a radio program, you must not pad out the narration. As a rule, avoid using unnecessary words and admitting irrelevant context or distantly related topics in your scripts. One dull patch can imperil the broadcaster's hold on the listeners. Therefore, never let your script or commentary narration meander even a moment. Now, I will be discussing some tips of writing the commentary. Keep the script writing or keep the script moving. The shorter your sentence and crisper your narration, the greater will be the commentary's impact. While padding has to be avoided at all cost, repetition of the main points is permitted and may even necessary. This you can do towards the end of the program in the form of summary. It is to ensure that all the points that you want your listeners to remember are, in fact, briefly expressed again. And, live, and leaven the script or commentary. The wider your vocabulary, the more visuals are your images. And this in turn helps you to vary your form and have a firm hold over listeners. Be completely natural, as I discussed earlier also. Be completely natural. It is very life of your broadcast that you read aloud your narration, script, commentary as you write. If it is not off the cuff broadcast, running commentary, if it sounds natural, as though you were talking, you are on the right line. If, on the other hand, it sounds like formal written language, you will immediately know you are off the track. Get your friends and well wishers to help you with their reactions. This tried and tested method will be the immense help to you in improving your performance. This is the very good way of improving yourself, that you can try yourself in among your friends, that after that you can go for commentary because you can see the reactions or feedback. So this is tried and tested method will be useful for you to do commentary. Keep glitches out. This applies to hackneyed phrases as much as to journalistic ones. The microphone only reinforces their staleness. It is only radio journalism at its worst. Keep on looking for the needs of the market. It is well to remember that broadcasting is essentially a family affair. Good taste is what matters and should be the main criteria. The writer's script should be simple and conjure visuals rather than oral images in the listener's mind. Remember, short sentences and short words are always more effective than long winded and pandemic phrases. Do not talk down to the audience. In any program where the spoken word dominates in a running commentary or any other, one must take precaution against any slip of tongue that would offend a listener. Be professional when you have to explain some matter. Do not sound like the know all teacher talking down to the students. So this will all about writing for commentary. Now I will discuss language of the radio commentary. One must take into the account of varying spans of memory and levels of comprehension of different listeners. Clarity of both content and actual narration is thus essential. One must remember that it is an individual's memory and comprehension that we deal with. Listeners generally cannot turn to anybody for explanation, neither can they be expected to have reference books at hand. Therefore, all the necessary aids to memory and comprehension are generally built into the program material. Scripts for radio commentary ought to be written with this vital factor in view. The narrators too must be chosen with due care and given instructions about the required pace of narration, style of delivery, etc. The radio is an audio medium. The secret of the ideal radio broadcast is the unexpressed will to woo listeners to stay tuned for the entire program by simply providing the right fare. A good radio feature or running commentary is one that strives to describe the subject or phenomena cogently and comprehensively. A radio commentary is written in words that create appropriate atmosphere, and concrete pictures in the listener's mind. It is by improving the script and presenting it creatively that a radio commentator make even the most complex subject appear simple. It is in their hands to make listening a gainful and lasting pleasure. They have only to wield their power correctly to endear themselves to their audience. So let's sum up this topic commentary, radio commentary. A radio commentator must possess the knack of observing even the minute details and also a swift tongue to describe those details in appropriate language. He should have keen observation, he should be a keen observer so that he could observe minute details. Many times it is said that if one wants to talk for 5 minutes in a radio program, one has to prepare for it for 5 hours. Indeed, a thorough preparation is required for successful commentary. This preparation includes library work, personal visits in advance to meet important people. During the actual commentary, the broadcaster must pay attention to his voice, rhythm, breathing, and language. A commentator usually writes the commentary while the feature writer scripts the narration and does not necessarily narrate the parts. Under these circumstances, the script assumes much importance. The words you choose to put in narrator's mouth must be chosen with care. The language must befit the occasion as must the style of presentation. The commentator narrator would do well to address the members of the audience as equal. It is best to avoid talking down to listener even by implication. One ought to resist the temptation to pad out the commentary narrations. Finally, enliven the enliven the commentator must do all the efforts to the commentary. So this is all about commentary. So here I will discuss radio plays or radio drama. Radio plays, also known as radio dramas. are audio performances created specifically for radio broadcast. They are theater productions that rely solely on sound to tell a story, engaging listeners through the power of sound effects, dialogue, and narration. Here are some key characteristics of radio plays or drama. That is basically a audio based storytelling. Radio plays emphasize storytelling through sound without visual elements. They rely on dialogue, sound effects, and music to create vivid imaginary and engage the listener's imagination. Voice acting. Radio plays feature voice actors who bring the characters to life through their performances. They use their voices to convey emotions, portray different personalities, and communicate the narrative. Sound effects. Sound effects play a crucial role in radio plays. They help establish the settings, create atmosphere, and enhance the listener's immersion in the story. From footsteps to door creaks, the sound effects are carefully crafted to bring the narrative to life. Narration. Narration is often used in radio plays to provide additional context, describe scenes, and guide the listeners through the story. Narrators help bridge the gaps and fill in the visual elements that are absent in the audio format. Music and soundscapes. Music is used to enhance the mood, set the tone, and underscore the dramatic moments in radio plays. Soundscapes, such as background ambient sounds, contribute to the overall audio experience, making the story more engaging and immersive. Variety of genres. Radio plays covers a wide range of genres including mystery, science fiction, romance, historical fiction, comedy, and more. Each genre brings its own unique storytelling elements and engages listeners in different ways. Production and editing. Radio plays require careful production and editing to ensure the seamless integration of voice acting, sound effects, and music. The pacing, timing, and balance of audio elements are crucial to create a compelling listening experience. Radio plays have a rich history and continue to be produced and enjoyed today. They offer a unique form of entertainment that allows listeners to immerse themselves in captivating stories and engage their imagination. From classic adaptations to original productions, radio plays provide a distinct and captivating medium of storytelling through the power of audio. Thank you.